Just
Time
a minute.
Bandits being
What about the
remade.
plot?
Yes, the classic, very bizarre fantasy film from Terry Gilliam, that incomparable, bizarre, mad genius, is now being given a very corporate retread with Taika Waititi. And listen, I don't hate Taika. I've disliked most of what Taika does. Like Ragnarok, I hated that. I'm not that impressed with the Rabbit movie, but that was decent. It was an interesting attempt to look at Nazism with a young set of eyes. And I do think Love and Thunder had potential. But overall, Taika is very talented, but he just seems to have problems doing a full movie or, frankly, doing a full story. He just seems to be very good at directing a few great scenes, but doing a full blown narrative, something always gets leaky. And this is no exception. So if you know Time Bandits, the classical one, that was a fairly interesting concept. So we had no nice way of putting it, these midgets, and they basically kidnap a kid and they go off on these insane adventures, stealing. Emphasis on stealing objects throughout history. But now it seems Lisa Kudrow, who is a very talented comedic actress, is just taking a kid along and they're going to have yeah, adventures, but the adventures have no edge. It just feels like, oh, they're just going to be bouncing back and forth in time. There is still an evil, whatever, operator in the background, but man, oh man, the jokes are so lame. Yes, Time Bandits has, to put it mildly, a very goofy sensibility. I think that's fair to say. And yes, the effects back then don't hold up. So it's a little rocky. It's not Gilliam's best work. It is, however, still a solid, good movie. Maybe not one of the best of the 1980s, but very, very decent. Kind of like a minor classic. But this thing is unintelligible. It's like, what is the point? And why is Taika in it again? Why does he keep hiring himself as an actor? It's just getting a little tiresome. So I don't think they did anything too offensive in particular, but overall, there's no need for this. They're just not taking the central story seriously. It just feels like a really, really bad joke. And yes, give them some props that the cinematography, it's a little too shiny and bright. Okay, fine. But they have a few clever moments like him, the main kid, stepping into a closet. It's like, oh, guess what? It's not a closet, it's a portal. Okay, that was clever. But overall, it's like there's just nothing visually, thematically, and even acting wise, it is very 101. It's like, oh, Lisa Kudrow faces Asian female pirate. Got it. And the camera barely moves. It just looks like junk for the most part. But I'm sure there might be one or two decent episodes, but wow. Now, the idea and principle, yes, bring back the Time Bandits. I think more than ever, we need something like Time Bandits, but Taika's just not the guy. And this is definitely not the crew, as it were, to do it. It just feels very slick and polished, just very factory made. Like, they just thought about it last week and say, yeah, get tax credits, film it here, put some bad CGI, and let's get going. Yeah, I'm going to be fairly negative on this one. That said, I don't think anyone here hated Terry Gilliam. I don't think they're here to destroy Terry Gilliam. It just doesn't feel like anyone here cares about what the original film was about. And it's fine. It's an adaptation. They're doing their own thing. But this is so radically opposed to the original. It's like, what was the point? Like, who is this for? It's definitely not for the fans of the original. It's not for Terry Gilliam fans. It's not for Sean Connery fans. It's definitely not for them. And I'm not joking. I was just looking at some old movies. I'm like, damn, I did not see that Sean Connery film. I don't want to give that a chance. I am getting the complete opposite feeling. Like, I don't want to give this a chance at all. I do not want to see this. But I will probably end up giving episodes 1 to 2 a chance. But oh man, oh man. And Apple TV just doesn't have the branding that Amazon does. Again, even when Amazon is quote bad, and a lot of people are very critical of The Boys, I don't agree. A lot of people are critical of Rings of Power. I don't agree there either. I think those are actually pretty good shows, but yeah, they have their low bad moments. But Amazon exercises a certain amount of quality control. What does Apple have? This? Well, if this is their way of stopping the other Hollywood giants, they're going to need more. It just feels like they have a couple of brand names attached to this project, but really it does not feel at all like a 1980s throwback. It doesn't feel like a homage either. It just feels like a very silly MCUified monstrosity. Taika has made enough money, so he doesn't need to do this project. So why is he doing it? I don't know. It's just building his Taika empire, which Listen, I want to work in Hollywood, but even I would be like, oh man, I don't know. You got to pay the rent, but I'd be like, oh, do I have to do this? I don't want to do this. So that is my reading of Time Bandits. Yeah, I'm going to say don't give it a chance. But that's my initial reading. Maybe the episodes will actually be good. But this trailer did not sell me at all. It did not sell this concept at all.